Again, we tried these on version 3. It's our first time trying it on the newest public test version, so I'm also kind of surprised by these numbers. Now let's throw some power shots and see if the extra energy used to really rip the body or rip the head, if that energy used is worth it. Am I getting so much more force that it makes sense to use the energy? We'll find out. Today we're going to check if throwing power or speed or simply just throwing technique but slow delivers the most power and thrill of the fight too. We're going to trial and error a lot of different techniques, a lot of different speeds, and see what does the most damage. I find it that sometimes when I'm in a fight and I'm throwing and my cardio is just struggling because I'm throwing so hard, I'm not delivering that much. There's a sweet spot that's like 70 to like 85% that I feel like I can flow at that and still deliver as much power. So I'm gonna test it. I'm gonna see if that's actually the case here with the dummy. We're in the public test, so the newest version of the game. All right, so for this test, we're gonna be looking at the weak points that we're hitting and trying different ones. We're gonna also look at the force and the speed that we're going behind it to see what kind of damage are we actually delivering. Of course, this is on a dummy, a sitting still target. Fights are gonna be a little bit different, but we can always test things out. Let's start easy with straight punches. I'll throw them slow, I'll throw them fast, I'll throw them just with my arms, and I'll throw them turning over my hips on each one. So let's see which one is truly doing the most, at least for me personally. All arms. All arms is very uncomfortable. Oh my God. Let's throw some rabbit punches like you see sometimes where guys will fight, and because it does a lot of damage, they do it like this. It looks horrible, but it does damage. 1, 2, properly. Okay, so immediately, I'm not just like doing this one harder. I didn't really throw that fast. I kind of just like overly turned my hips too, and just that hip motion, we threw our hardest punch yet. A few more. What are the odds? Left-handed. So for me, that shows a lot. Rabbit punching can definitely do damage. All arm punching can definitely do damage. But the most turning over those hips did the most damage. Let's try the same thing with hooks. I'm gonna start to the body because that's where a lot of people are throwing hooks nowadays, but let's start with the body hooks. I'm gonna do just all arms and then really rip the body. I can't even not turn my hips over. I can't deliver any force. All arms. There, I mean, kind of. Okay. Maybe I'm the worst, but all arms is like obviously the worst because that's why you don't see someone doing this in boxing ever, because your hips are so involved all the time and so important. So obviously it's very weird to, throw, not bad, but very weird to throw just arms. So it feels very uncomfortable. Obviously I feel because it's so uncomfortable, I don't want to do it. And obviously if I could throw my hips into a shot and throw way more damage, obviously turn your hips over. I think that's what the whole video lesson is. Again, we tried these on version 3. It's our first time trying it on the newest public test version. So I'm also kind of surprised by these numbers. So more hooks. So far, turning my hips over with straight punches definitely is better. And the same thing for hooks. I mean, even if I just sit here, get real close check hook, 2, it's insane. And let's just say we set up that hook with a jab. 10 is crazy. Let's throw the jab, but a slower hook. Think about the effort there. I was swinging to death, and I'm hitting for the same amount with a slow hook. Let's throw some slower combinations and see what they're generally adding up for you. So generally, I saw at like peaking was like 35, maybe 40. Now let's throw some power shots and see if the extra energy used to really rip the body or rip the head, if that energy used is worth it. Am I getting so much more force that it makes sense to use the energy? We'll find out. So far, no. So far, very much no. Left-handed combos. At least for me, for the newest public test, going about 70% is the sweet spot. I personally don't think it's worth going the extra effort of really going crazy unless the opponent brings it out of you. I'm hitting just as much damage, maybe a little bit more in moments, but collectively, probably on average, right about the same. So if you learned anything today, slow it down. Sometimes the VR aspect of this really just needs you to slow down. I hope that was as helpful as it was for me to find out that I can slow down and do just as much damage, which means my volume can go up, but my power goes down a little bit, but to the game, not really. So give it a try, let me know how it works for you. And as always, subscribe and watch these other videos if you need more tips and tricks like this.